Oh, no, 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 no. Choose and exhaust one character you control. Hate spiders so much. Welcome back to Get Up and Game, where we like to start every day off right with a game on the table. Up everyone, my name's Josh, and today the game on my table is The Lord of the Rings the card game by Fantasy Flight Games, and we're going to be playing it on dragon cards today. I'm really excited to get my starter deck series continuing. We've played the Sylvans, we've played Rohan, and now it's time to check out Gondor. I've been really impressed with these starter decks that they've released as part of the new revised edition of the game. So let's see what Gondor has to offer. It looks like we have 2 leadership heroes and 1 tactics hero. So starting off here, we have Prince Emerhill. He has 2 willpower, 3 attack, and 2 defense. And his ability is when a character leaves play, you get to ready him up. Please help me not forget to do that, friends. We've got the leadership version of Boromir. He has 1 willpower, 3 attack, and 2 defense. And while he has at least 1 resource in his pool, Gondor allies get +1 attack. So it looks like we're going to be amassing an army of little guys and beefing them up. So let's try to keep some money on him. And we have our tactics hero here with Mablung with a balanced 2/2/2 stat line. And his ability is after you engage an enemy, add 1 resource to Mablung's resource pool. Limit once per phase. So that means if we have some tricks to bring some enemies out of the staging area outside of the encounter phase, we can maybe get more than 1 money per phase for him. Now this is just the hand that loaded up when I started the game, but I think I'm going to keep it. We've got a Gondorian shield, which I assume is meant for Emerhill. We do have 2 copies of Faramir, which is a little unnecessary, but we also have Steward of Gondor, and that is hard to pass up. We've got a Gondorian Spearman, who's a nice blocker, and we have the Pelargir ship captain, who can quest, he can attack for a little bit, and when he comes into play, you can move 1 resource from the resource pool of a hero you control to another hero's resource pool. So that's nice for smoothing out your resources or making sure there's at least 1 still left on Boromir. Now, I've been playing Passage Through Merkwood, but I think I'm ready to finally shake it up. I needed some easy games to get my feet wet again. I hadn't played the game in a couple years, and now I'm ready to try something different. So now I think what I would like to do is try out... They released another pack as part of the revised edition of the game. Let me see if I can find it. There was the original 2-player limited edition starter that had 2 quests in it, and I did play those when I bought that, but it was a long time ago, and I probably only played them a couple times. So maybe if you want to play those quests, you just need to play them in the 2-player limited edition starter tab. All right, we're going to play the Oath today. Now, like I said, I've only played this quest once or twice, so I don't really remember anything. So where Passage Through Merkwood was a nice walk in the park, I was very familiar with all the cards here. I don't know what to expect. We do have a starting threat of 32. That's a little concerning. So actually, maybe I should mulligan. There is Sneak Attack Gandalf in here. And it would be really nice to get our threat down early. Oh, it's so hard to give up a hand with Steward of Gondor in it. I'm going to do it. I really want a Sneak Attack Gandalf, so I'd like to find at least 1 piece of that puzzle. Alright, am I going to regret this? What are we looking at here? We got the Citadel Custodian, who's free if you've got a lot of Gondor allies. Still have Faramir. We have the Valiant Sword, attached to a noble hero, gets more attack. Valiant Sacrifice, Valiant Sword, and a Valiant Sacrifice. After an ally leaves play, draw 2 cards, Gondorian Spearman, and a Foe Hammer. Well, that just didn't work out at all. That was a very poor choice on my part. We're going to see how it goes. So, let's read our quest card here. After the raid, the Oath is the quest. Marauding goblins have raided a woodman village on the eaves of Merkwood Forest. The goblins killed the guards and took many of the villagers captive. Those left behind beg you to rescue their loved ones. Well, that's unfortunate. Oh, I'm sad. Well, let's see what we can do to help. So as the setup, search the encounter deck for 1 copy of the Eaves of Merkwood and a Goblin Troop. Well, it looks like we have the Eaves of Merkwood here, but it didn't pop out a Goblin Troop for us. Oh, add the Eaves of Merkwood to the staging area, set Goblin Troop aside, out of play. Shuffle the encounter deck. Oh goodness, am I going to be... Oh, he's right over here. Goblin Troop is a monster here. 6 hit points. Sorry, these the card art in this, the limited edition starter, it's the layout's different. I'm having a hard time reading it. 6 hit points, 3 threat, 5 attack, 3 defense. What is this thing? Cannot have attachments, and while it's engaged with you, each other goblin enemy engaged with you gets +1/+1, so I assume we're going to be seeing him later once we, or them, I guess it's a group, once we advance the quest to some degree. Let's flip this over and see what we're working with. You swear an oath to the survivors that you will rescue the captured woodmen and bring justice to the goblins who attack them. Then you enter Merkwood Forest to find their trail. It has 9 quest points. And currently in the staging area, we have 2 threat with the Eves of Merkwood. While it's the active location and counter card effects cannot be canceled, but I doubt we're going to be doing much of that with a leadership tactics deck anyway, so that's all good. And it has 2 quest points. So let's get started. Another Valiant Sword. Just try to figure out the roles of my heroes here. I assume Emerhill is meant to quest and also defend. Boromir is more of an attacker, but he can certainly defend. Well, they both have 3 attack. That's actually really tough. I mean, these are some pretty strong heroes, which is why my threat is so high. And they can all quest. Well, Boromir only quests for 1, but these 2 can quest. Definitely want to get some allies out. Really, really sad I didn't get my Steward of Gondor back. So, doesn't look like there's much I can do to improve my questing position right off the bat here. So we might not be getting too quick of a start. I think for now we're going to be a little risky, and we're not going to play anything. We're going to save up our resources to try to get maybe Faramir out next turn and the Gondorian Spearman. And we're just going to quest and hope we don't get an enemy to start out with. So let's send Emerhill and Mablung to the quest for 4. We're going to keep Boromir up just in case we get an enemy, or should we just really go all in? Well, he's only contributing 1. We won't worry about Boromir. So we're sending 4 to the quest. We're against 2 in the staging area. What are we going to get? Uh-oh. What's this? Goblins are upon you. When revealed, each player must search the encounter deck and discard pile for a goblin enemy, which is exactly what we didn't want, and put it in play engaged with them, then shuffle the encounter deck. Oh boy. Okay, so we need to search for a goblin enemy. Now, we can sort this by enemies, and we need a goblin. Let's see if we can find the least scariest one possible. We're putting into play engaged with us, so things like Surge won't trigger. Or this, when revealed, discard the top card. Okay, he's pretty wimpy. He'll probably be who take, but let's see what we're looking at here. A couple of those scavengers, some spiders. Spiders are never good. We've got goblin snipers in here, more spiders. All right, none of these enemies in the encounter deck are too scary, so that's good to know. But we're going to go ahead and grab the Goblin Town Scavengers. They go into play engaged with us. Well, there he goes. And we're going to close and shuffle the encounter deck. And then we're going to get rid of this treachery. So we did manage to make 2 progress, so that's good news. 1, 2. Now do we want to travel to the Eves of Merkwood? I suppose so. No reason not to. Make that the active. And now we have a Goblin Town Scavengers to deal with. Well, he's going to get a Shadow card. Now they are attacking for 1, and I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take this undefended and then attack it back with Boromir, which should kill it. So hopefully this Shadow card isn't anything too scary. Boromir has 5 hit points. We've got a decent amount of hit points on the board, so this might be a little risky, but we're going to do it. What is the Shadow card? Nothing! And a Goblin Sniper gone. Well, win-win. And Boromir swings to, how do you activate, and that will do 3 damage to him. He has 0 defense, so he gone. Oh, and Boromir did take a damage, though. Let us not forget. I could have put it on anybody. When you take an undefended attack, I should say, you have to assign all of the damage to one of your heroes. I'm just putting it on Boromir because he has the most health. And I think we're going to call that the round. We're going to stand up. Don't think I forgot any triggers yet, so we're off to a good start there. What did we draw? A behind. Strong wall is going to let us ready a defending character. That might be useful later. Well, we're still waiting to see the key cards that I was hoping to draw. But now we have a little bit more money. Let's go ahead and spend 1, 2, 3, 4 to bring Faramir out. It's going to help us with questing. Right now, he's probably just going to be questing for 2. But if we do manage to amass this army of Gondor that I think we're meant to do, you can use him to give +1 to all of your questers. I'm also wishing now that I put the Valiant Sword on Boromir, and I would have been able to play Foehammer to draw some cards. Speaking of that, I did miss a trigger. He should have 1 more resource when the Goblin Scavengers the Goblin Town Scavengers engaged us. So that's nice. We've got a lot of tactics resources. We're going to go ahead and spend 2 of them to bring out the Gondorian Spearman. We have 1 tactics resource left and really nothing to do with it. Citadel Custodian gets a little bit cheaper for each Gondor ally in play. There's 2 so far, so he's still too expensive, but if we can get a couple more out. He's not a very impressive ally, but a free body on the table is always welcome. And I think we're just going to do what we did again. We're going to quest with Emerhill, we're going to quest with Mablung, we're going to quest with Faramir. And now we have a Gondorian Spearman as a blocker, and we still have a Boromir to attack. He doesn't have any resources, so our allies don't have extra attack, but I don't think we care about that right now. So we're sent 6 to the quest. There is 0 in the staging area. Let's see what we get. A Goblin Trail has 3 threat. To travel to it, you have to reveal the top card of the encounter deck. Bleh. As a response, when it leaves play as an explored location, play 6 progress on the current quest. Oh, okay. So if you're willing to put the effort into going there, you don't end up wasting the progress, and then it goes to the victory display. Otherwise, it's going to contribute 3 threat to the staging area. Interesting. I love these full art cards. They just look so nice. It is confusing as, you know, I looked at the cards the normal way for so long that this extra, there's different layout rather, is really throwing me off where the numbers are, but I like how they look quite a bit. So it looks like we made 3 progress. 1, 2, oops, not. So we had 2, accidentally took it off. 5 progress on the main current quest. We have 4 to go. Nope. Screwed that up. 2 would have gone on the Eves of Merkwood and completed it rather. So there would have been 2 less on here. Sorry about that. I remind myself how to play this game. Bouncing back and forth between this and Marvel's been a lot of fun, but I'd also have to remember how each game works. Now, do we want to travel to this? We have to reveal the top card of the encounter deck. When we did this in the last game, it didn't work out in our favor at all. Eomer ended up getting caught in a web, but since I forgot that was on him for the rest of the game, it didn't actually end up mattering. We do have a blocker and an attacker. We don't actually need... Actually, yeah. It would put 6 progress on the quest, which is exactly what we need. Let's do it. We'll make that the active. That means we're going to reveal an encounter card and get a Goblin Sniper. During the encounter phase, players cannot optionally engage Goblin Sniper if there are other enemies in the staging area. I have bad news for you, Mr. Sniper. If Goblin Sniper is in the staging area at the end of the combat phase, each player deals 1 point of damage to 1 character he controls. Now, these guys can be super annoying. If they pop out and you've already got enemies in the staging area, they just sit there and ping your guys for 1 each round. But since we snuck up on him, he didn't see us coming, we are going to optionally engage him, which is the thing he hates the most. That is going to bring Mablung some money. He gets a shadow card. Now, Goblin Sniper is attacking for 2. If I block with the Gondorian Spearman here, it is going to knock him out, which is unfortunate. His response here, after he is declared as a defender, it deals 1 damage to the attacking enemy. That does happen immediately, but unfortunately the Goblin Sniper has 2 health, so it won't kill him. But if it did, then the Goblin Sniper wouldn't get to complete his attack, which is awesome, but not helpful in this moment. But I also don't want to take a 2 attack undefended, so unfortunately for the Gondorian Spearman, it is going to be him. Lip. Deal 1 damage to an exhausted character you control. Well, we can't put that here. That'll knock out the Spearman, and then we will end up taking that attack undefended after all. We'll go ahead and put it on Faramir. And that is a Spider gone. Not sad to see that. That does defeat the Spearman. That does ready Prince Emerhill. For all that that is going to matter, I think, because 1 swipe of Boromir's mighty sword is all it's going to take to defeat the Goblin Sniper. Once again, we miss out on the opportunity to draw some cards because I have still yet to equip a weapon on my warriors. And we keep seeing enemies go to the discard pile, so I hope we haven't seen the last of them just so we can take advantage of Foe Hammer down here. Alright, let's ready up. What we get? There it is. There it is. Playing Lord of the Rings for 10 years, it still never gets old drawing Steward of Gondor. Which I guess says something about the design of the core set cards. Some of them were pretty good. We are going to attach Steward of Gondor to Boromir. Gondor needs no king after all. He can just ascend to the chair. We're going to go ahead and exhaust. Now there's a way to just do this, right? Shift A automatically adds 2 resources to Boromir's pool. Awesome. So now we have 2 leadership resources and 3 tactics resources. I think it's time to finally get a sword on Boromir. So let's spend 1 of these purple monies. Give him the Valiant Sword. Now let us remember he has +1 attack, and it will actually be +2 once we get our threat. Let me look at the right, there we go. 40 or higher, that's sort of the theme of this deck. There's a keyword called Valor, that if your threat is 40 or higher, it's currently 34. But if your threat gets to 40, some of your cards get a lot stronger, including this sword that gives you an extra attack. So It's risky to have your threat so high. The enemies are pretty much always going to engage you and you're within danger of losing to 50 threat. But it's also very fun because you feel very powerful. And it's very thematic to Gondor, you know, as they sit on the border of Mordor and defend the west from the hordes of Sauron, that they were always at a higher threat and then always in the most danger. They did such a good job of the theme in this game. Always been so impressed. Now I do have another sword, and I could play that as well. You can have 2 restricted attachments on a hero, but I think we'll just wait for now. Might regret that, but so I don't have anything to do with all these tactics resources Mablung is piling up. Maybe he can take a nice vacation after this. We're gonna quest with Emerhill, quest with Mablung, and quest with Faramir, because now we're in an interesting situation. There is 6 progress points to pass this. There is 0 threat in the staging area, but there's a decent chance we're not going to complete the active location, which is fine. You just don't want locations piling up on you. But if we do complete this, this will put 6 progress on the quest, which will progress us to the next stage, which I don't know what happens, so maybe I don't want to be in too big of a hurry. Wouldn't mind getting a few more allies out. But as long as a location or an enemy comes out, then it won't be a problem. But if we get a treachery, we're going to end up completing this active location. So what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to hold Faramir back, and we're going to wait to see what pops out into the staging area. And instead of questing with him, we can take advantage of his action in the action window between staging and quest resolution. So let's do it that way. So we're only questing with 4. Let's see what we get. The Spiders of Merckwood. A 4 health, 3 threat, 2 attack, 2 defense monster. While it is engaged with you, it gets +1 attack for each exhausted character you control. And they only have an 18 engagement cost. So we're about to play with the spiders. Now we have to decide. So we're currently making 1 progress. I could exhaust Faramir to add 2 more willpower to my questers to get us 2 more progress. But I think instead Faramir might just become spider food. And we're going to keep him up. So that means we make 1 progress on the Goblin Trail. We just took a few steps down the path. Now the Spiders of Merkwood are going to engage us, whether we like it or not. Their engagement cost is pretty low for such a beefy enemy. Shadow card. So they are currently attacking for 4 because I have 2 exhausted characters. Yeah, sorry Faramir. Looks like Denethor's going to get his wish, and it was you after all. Exhaust Faramir to defend. The shadow card is... Oh, no. Choose and exhaust 1 character you control. Hate spiders so much. The only character we have left to exhaust is Boromir. This is going to deal a whole whack of damage to Faramir and knock him out. Now, a couple things are going to happen here. That is going to ready Emerhill, and we can spend 1 resource from Boromir's pool to play Valiant Sacrifice. After an ally card leaves play, that card's controller draws 2 cards. Draw. What do we get? Squire of the Citadel and a Pelargir Ship Captain. That's going to be nice. I can get one of these tactics resources over to a leadership hero where it might be more useful. But in the meantime, go ahead and get rid of that. Now I don't have the attack power I need to kill these stupid spiders because Boromir got exhausted, and this was going to be awesome. These 2 were going to be able to kill him, and I was going to get to draw 3 cards, and everybody was going to be happy. And now nobody's happy. Well, Emerhill can at least attack for 1. We'll put 1 damage. Get them a little bit closer to dead for next turn. Did I add a resource when those things engaged? Let me see. Whoa, the whole thing pops up. That's cool. So Sage drew a card, moved Valiant. Where is... I did not. Neat. Okay, so we have even more tactics money when the spider engaged us. I think that is going to be all we can do. So now we're going to discard the shadow card. But the spider is going to stay engaged with us. We're going to have to deal with them again next turn. What we get? All right. That makes me very happy. We got a tactics blocker. We got a lot of money to pay for him. We can activate the steward to get some more purple monies. Hope it doesn't bother anybody that I just call resources in games monies. It's just something I've always done. They are resources. Let's be proper here. Lord of the Rings is not a silly game. This is for serious folks, which isn't really me. but I'll try to be more serious. Okay, what have we got here? We've got 4 leadership resources, 5 tactics resources, plenty of cards in our hand, a really dumb spider in our face, and we need to make some progress on that quest, or on the active location. We don't want that. We don't want to start getting behind. So what that means is we are going to spend 2 tactics resources to bring out for Gondor here, and then we're also going to spend from here and for here to bring out the Pelargir ship captain. When he enters play, I can move a resource from the resource pool of a hero to another hero. We are going to take one of these tactics resources because we just don't need it right now. So we're going to remove one from here, add one to here. We're also going to play the Squire of the Citadel, the most unfortunate card ever printed. Between him and the Snowborn Scout, I don't know who's taken more hits. But this guy's neat because when he leaves play, he gives you this resource back. So he really is just a free blocker. How does anybody go from becoming a squire to a knight in this world? Because I guarantee you, he's not going to last more than 1 or 2 turns. The people who do make it must be under strict rules to sign an NDA or something to not tell anybody what their experience is like, because he is not long for this world, I promise you. Now we do have 3 Gondor allies. That brings the cost of the Citadel Custodian down to 2, which is starting to be a fair price for a willpower and 3 hit points. But I think we're going to wait until he's free, or at least 1 less. Okay, now that I've seen how these spiders are going to be exhausting us, I'm tempted to put this other sword on Emerhill so I can spread my attack power around a little bit. That is exactly what I'm going to do. So now he is also attacking for 5 when our threat gets to 40, which if we don't see Gandalf soon is definitely going to happen, which is fine because again, our cards get better, but I would sort of like to be a little bit more in control of that. Now, these are all attacking at +1 because Boromir still has a resource in his pool. And I think our number 1 priority now is we really want to kill this spider. He has 3 hit points left, 2 defense, so it's going to take an attack of 5 to kill it, which, assuming Boromir doesn't get exhausted again, if we do the same thing we did last round, Boromir and one of these allies will be enough to finish it off. So let's just plan on that. We're going to quest with Emerhill, quest with Mablung. So that is 4 up against the staging area of 0. I could send the ship captain for 1 more, save the squire as a blocker. See, I told you that is his sad lot in life. He's looking up at that knight in front of him and he's saying, please don't let me die. And the knight's saying, I'll do my best, kid. Yeah, let's send the ship captain too. Let's try to make a little bit of progress here. So we're questing for 5. Let's see what we get. The Goblin Runners. It's a little-ish guy. 3 attack though. Yee. And surge. So we're going to see what we get again. More scavengers. Now this time their when revealed is going to trigger. Discard the top card of each player's deck till the end of the phase. Increase Goblin Town Scavenger's threat by the total printed cost. Okay, so we're going to bring this out. Let's just see what it is. It is 1 cost. It's based on the cost. Yep. So we're going to add 1 threat to the Goblin Town Scavengers. Okay, so we are up against 3 threat in the staging. We sent 5 to the quest. So we are making 2 progress. So we're slowly inching our way down this trail. We need to get off of here. The enemies just keep popping out at us. Now, we are in a really sticky situation here because this has a 20 engagement cost. This has a 12 engagement cost, which means we're about to get engaged with 3 enemies. There's nothing we can do about it. We're just going to see how this plays out. So he comes down, he comes down. Technically, they would have been, this one would have come down first, but it doesn't matter. Could have optionally engaged one, but what's the point? They're both coming, and we have quite a gang on our hands to deal with. Now, we do get 1 resource here, but it only happens once. If we had had a way to engage one of them outside of the encounter phase, maybe we could have gotten a resource for both of them, but that just didn't happen. They all get shadow cards. This is really scary. Only attacking for 1, attacking for 3, attacking for 2, 3, 4, 5 currently because I have 3 exhausted characters. We're probably going to have to let this one be undefended. We can block both of these. I don't yet know if we're going to be able to kill all of them. I don't want to, we're just going to work our way through. So we're going to let this one be undefended first and see what happens. Thankfully, nothing. So we're just putting 1 damage somewhere. Let's spread it out a little bit. We'll put this one on Mablung. Has to go on a hero. Now, when we defend, see, he's attacking for the most, so let's defend him with the squire. Tried to warn you. No shadow effect. We're getting very lucky on that, and that looks like a nasty location, so glad that's gone. Now that is going to knock the squire out. When he leaves play, we add a resource to a Gondor hero's resource pool. We'll just keep piling them on Boromir there. The favorite son gets all the money. So that leaves the goblin runners. Now it looks like we're going to have to block them with the spearman. Now when we block with him, he immediately deals the damage. But it's not enough to knock out the runners. If it had been enough to knock out any of these, I would have blocked with him, but it just didn't work out. So he's taking 3 attack plus nothing. Wow, 3 non-shadow effects. That is super great. But that does knock out... Oh, and he would have readied the first time, which means I could have hypothetically defended with him and then readied him with this card, but I didn't, so we're just not going to worry about it. That defeats him. So now, what can we do? We have 4 attack here and 4 attack here. 4 attack is not enough to defeat these spiders. It would have been if I had defended them with the Gondorian Spearman. This is why you should look ahead and do the math. I just didn't feel like it, I guess. It's only going to take 2 attack to kill him, and it's only going to take 3 attack to kill. So I should be able to kill both of these, and we're just going to have to deal with the spiders for one more round, I think. So we are going to attack with Boromir to defeat the goblin runners, dealing 4 damage to them. And we are going to exhaust the Valiant Sword and play Foehammer finally. After hero you control attacks and destroys an enemy, which just happened. Exhaust a weapon, which I just did. Attach to that hero to draw 3 cards. 1, 2, 3. What we get? Soldier of Gondor, a 2-cost ally. After Soldier of Gondor enters play, search top 5 cards of your deck for a Gondor ally, and more if you are at 40 or higher. Ooh, the Heir of Mardiel attached to a noble hero. After they gain any number of resources from a card effect, exhaust Heir of Mardiel to ready attached hero. Oh, very cool. Can we put that on? We cannot. Okay, I was hoping to put that on Mablung because he gets resources at a weird time, and then you could ready him up. Who does that go on? Okay, we'll figure that out later, I guess. And this is the card I've been looking for. Pillars of the Kings. This is such a cool card. It does cost 4. While your threat is less than 40, which it is for the time being, reduce the cost to play Pillars of the Kings by 4, so it'll be free. Set your threat to 40. If this effect raised your threat, draw a card. Draw 4 cards instead if it raised your threat by 10 or more. And this is where it gets unfortunate. Unless I can find a way to reduce my threat soon, I'm not going to get to draw those 4 cards, which is really what you want to do with this card. You want to keep your threat low earlier in the game, and then when you're ready to go to 40 and trigger all your Valor triggers, trigger, can I say that word 2 more times? Not only do you get to do that, but you also get to draw 4 cards, and it costs 0 resources. It's just amazing. But you have to put yourself in the right position for that to happen, and currently we are not in that position, but that's okay. We're going to discard Foehammer. So yeah, so that was defeated the 1. Emerhill is going to attack for 4 to defeat this one. Spiders live to spider another day, and we move on. We also discard the shadow card. There we go. What do we draw? The Envoy of Pelargir, a very nice ally. Costed 2. I mean, she doesn't look real nice, but she's nice to bring into play. She costs 2. She has a 1 willpower and 1 attack, which is pretty good for a 2-cost neutral ally. And when she enters play, you get a resource back on a Gondor or a noble hero. So she really only costs 1. I can tell you this card made it into a lot of my decks back in the day. We're not doing a very good job of amassing a Gondor army because we have to keep blocking all these enemies that keep coming down. We do want to quest through this as soon as we can because our threat is starting to climb. We can use the steward here to get even more money. So we have 6 leadership resources and 4 tactics resources. And since the tactics resources don't seem to be in high demand, let's go ahead and spend 2 of them for Mablung to bring out the Envoy, which is going to give us a resource back to a Gondor or noble hero. Let's just keep piling them up on Boromir. We'll bring out this soldier here. Oh, I probably should have done that first because he's going to let me look at some cards. Or I guess, do I want to play Pillars of the Kings? It's only going to raise my threat by 4. It's only going to let me draw 1 card, which is the disappointing part. I guess that's really all it's going to do. It's going to raise my threat by 4 and draw a card. That's really not worth it. Never mind. 1, 2 from our leadership heroes to play the soldier. Now when he enters play, search top 5 cards of your deck for a Gondor ally. Oh, that was what was making me think if I played the pillar I'd be at 40. He'd let me look at 5 more cards, but that is really not that big of a deal. Top 5 cards for a Gondor ally. No. There's 1. There's another, and the Gondorian shield. Let's just grab another squire. Right. Well, if I grab the citadel, oh, you know what? Let's do that. Let's put him back. We're going to shuffle anyway, so let's grab the citadel custodian here. Pop him out. Let's close and shuffle because we have so many leadership resources. Let's spend 1 to bring out citadel custodian. Now he costs, oh, actually, I take that back. He costs 2 because we had 3 Gondor allies. So that reduces his cost by 3, so it only costs 2. Now the next one only costs 1. Seems like a fair trade, and we have a lot of resources, so we might as well use them. So it looks like we're throwing custodians and envoys at the forces of Mordor. Look out! Look out, Sauron, the private sector's coming to get you. We got captains. This one soldier's like, why am I even here? Okay. We do have this Heir of Mardial. I just don't know what to do with it. After attached hero gains any number of resources from a card effect, exhaust it to ready attached hero. I suppose I could start waiting to use Steward until later in the round, and that would allow me to ready. Yeah, I guess that's what you're supposed to do with it. Let's do it. We'll go ahead and pile this up on. Once again, Boromir gets all the toys. We still have Behind Strong Walls, and we still have a Pillars of the Kings. So let's make some progress. And also remember that we have to kill a spider. We didn't even damage this thing last. No, we didn't. Well, all these guys are going to have higher attack. So if we can keep some of them alive, we might finally be able to kill these darn spiders. Let's quest with Faramir. Faramir. Ha. Emerhill. Faramir's dead. Faramir's dead. Let's also quest with the ship captain and the envoy. That puts us up to 6. So as long as we don't reveal more than 3. And that leaves us with... Actually, you know what? The envoy can actually hit for 1. Let's send a custodian instead. They do have 1 attack because Boromir has a resource, but the envoy actually has 2 attack. He has 2 attack. That leaves us with quite a bit. And then we'll feed one of these custodians to the spiders, probably. It sounds so awful when you say it that way. The games are brutal, man. That should leave us with everything we need. So let's quest for 6 against... Okay, why does this card come up in every single game I play? I'm even playing a different quest and it's still here. Stupid caught in a stupid web. Stupid when stupid revealed. The player with the highest threat level attaches this card to one of his heroes. Blah, doesn't ready, 2 resources. Blah. Now the nice thing is, Boromir has lots of money and this is going on him. So I can use the steward to sort of counteract that. But next time I play, I'm purposely picking a quest that does not have this card in it, which is like 99% of the quests in this game. For some reason, it's in this one too. So the good news is we make 6 progress. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then when this completes, it adds 6 more to the current quest. Well, that's pretty neat. I accidentally tried to discard it and there was a pop-up that told me to send it to the victory display instead. I'm probably going to say this in every single game I play, but Dragon Cards is just incredible. All right, so this got 6 more progress up to 12, which is more than enough to complete it. I have no idea what's about to happen. I totally forgot about that. Let's just see. We move on to stage 2A, Merkwood Forest. The Goblin's Trail leads you deeper into the dark forest of Merkwood. The enemy has a significant lead. The sign of their passing is easy to follow. You may yet overtake them if you press on. We have 12 quest points to make. When revealed, each player searches the encounter deck and discard pile for a forest location and adds it to the staging area. Shuffle the encounter deck. This stage cannot be defeated unless at least 1 copy of Goblin Trail is in the victory display. Well, I think we just put one there, right? Is this the... Where's the victory display? Yeah. So we can complete this. There is a copy in Goblin Trail in the victory display already. We have 12 progress to make, which is a decent amount, and we have to search for a forest location. So we could have searched for the Goblin Trail if we needed to, but we don't. So let's just find the easiest location, forest location we can. We have the Forest Gate. After you travel to Forest Gate, first player may draw 2 cards. Hey! I'm not even going to look at the rest of them. There's no way that's not the one I want. Fantastic. We're going to close and shuffle. That was the quest phase, so now we can travel to this and draw 2 cards. Don't mind if I do. What I get? Hey, Faramir's not dead. I was kidding, everyone. Joking. Faramir's back. Sorry, Denethor, you didn't get rid of him. We saved him. Another very unhappy looking envoy. I shouldn't judge. Maybe she's just tired. She probably had a long journey. Just had a rough day. That's okay. We all have rough days sometimes. I get grumpy sometimes. Sorry, Envoy. I apologize. I take it back. So we traveled. Now it is time to deal with these spiders, hopefully for the last time. They are currently attacking for 2, 3, 4, 5. Attack. Didn't engage any enemy, so he doesn't get any money. Nobody's left play yet. Okay. Making sure I'm not forgetting anything. It is so easy to miss triggers when you're playing these games, especially on camera. So yeah, I think the plan was to let him eat a custodian. That's what we're gonna do. Now he is defending for 1. He has 3 health, but this thing has, yeah, like I said, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, now 7 attack. So there's just no way he was ever going to survive. Shadow card is still nothing. We're getting incredibly fortunate with the shadow cards. So that is the end of the custodian. That does ready up Emerhill. We will swear vengeance in your name, Citadel Custodian. You probably really never should have been on the battlefield in the first place. Now, it is time to get rid of these stupid things finally. They have 1 damage, so they have 3 health left, 2, so it takes at least 5 to kill it. Let's just go 4. A whole bunch more. Even more. Some more after that. Whole bunch of attack. More than enough to kill it. Back to the shadow with you. Now I do have to remember that Boromir is caught in a web, so he won't ready without spending 2 resources. So, and then how does this work? Okay, so I have to pay the 2 resources in the refresh phase. So if I had another way to ready him, for example, if one happened to be the Heir of Mardial, wow, that really worked out. I was so confused about how I was supposed to make this card useful. Caught in a web comes along and saves the day. Didn't see that coming. What I get? Angbor the Fearless. This guy sounds awesome. 2 resources, 2 willpower, 1 attack, 2 health, while your threat is 40 or higher. We're almost there. He gets +2 attack and doesn't exhaust a quest. This is your best argument for valor right here. This guy's awesome. Quest for 2, attack for 3. That's very exciting. And he only costs 2. These starter decks are awesome. This game's awesome. I'm so glad I'm playing this again. I'm so glad you're joining me for this. This is so fun. Okay, so he didn't ready, actually. But what we're going to do now, spend Steward of Gondor, or exhaust it rather, to give him 2 resources, which he gained any number of resources from a card effect. So now we can exhaust this to ready him, and we can laugh at Caught in a Web all day long, which makes me ever so happy because I hate this card so much. Combo. Now, got another envoy to bring out. We're definitely getting out Angbor, and I'm starting to be tempted. Like, let's just get to 40. Forget it. There's no way I'm getting under 30 so I can draw the 4 cards. I just really don't see that happening. I want to play this, while it's going to be free. Well, I guess there'd be no reason to play it after. Actually, okay, this is cool. I'm realizing that you could use this to lower your threat to 42. So there is still a use for this after. So cool. So cool. So we want Angbor, we want the envoy. We kind of want to just play everything, and I think we probably can. Let's spend 1, 2 to bring out the envoy. Set her next to her partner here, her friend. No, not attached to. That's not. There we go. I think they work at the same firm. Looks like they might be delivering the same piece of mail. It looks like it's bad news either way. I would not want to be on the receiving end of whatever it is she's delivering. That does allow us to add a resource to somebody else's pool. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and spend 1, 2, 3, 4. Bring Faramir back out. Actually, let's have him over here by the heroes because he might as well be. Now, here's the thing. I do want to bring out Angbor, but if I do, Boromir won't have a resource anymore. These all won't be getting +1 attack, which is probably fine because my heroes are pretty strong attackers. There aren't currently any enemies. And I'm also realizing if I was going to play this, I should have played it first since it's going to let me draw a card. So maybe we'll wait 1 more turn to play it. Forget it. Let's just play it. Let's just do it. We're going to raise our threat by 3. I'm going to go to 40. We get to draw a card. Oh, this poor kid. This poor kid. Well, I've got good news. I'm probably going to play Angbor instead of you. So you get to squire for a little bit longer. Let's do it. This is the army of Gondor you want to see. My goodness, this is impressive. If I do say so myself. Okay, so we need to make 4 progress on the forest gate and 12 on here. So we do need a quest for quite a bit. So let's see what we can do here. Emerhill for 2. Mablung for 2. We're going to save Faramir. We're going to send the ship captain. We're definitely going to send Angbor because he shifts without... He quests without exhausting. I said shift because you have to press shift Q to exhaust. To quest without exhausting. So cool. So that is up to 7. Let's get a little wild here. Quest. That's up to 9. So let's see. We can hold the soldier back as a blocker. Let's try to make a good run here. Let's see what we get. Driven by shadow. When revealed, each enemy in each location currently in the staging area gets +1 threat until the end of the phase. There are none. And if so, it gains surge. Okay. Oh, actually, that effect stays in play until the end of the phase. So I just keep that out there. And what else do we get? Oh boy. Another one. Surging into. Another treachery. Surprising speed. When revealed, each player returns 1 enemy engaged with them to the staging area. If no enemy was returned to the staging area this way, surprising speed gains surge and doomed 1. Now we're up to 41. And another surge. Let's turn into a real good time. Oh, okay. Spider Den. 4 threat. Quest action. Search and counter deck. Discard power for a spider enemy and put it into play engaged with you to discard the Spider Den. Okay, so if you don't want to travel to it, you can just go get a spider instead. That is excellent card design because you might be playing a deck that's better at questing, or you might be playing a deck that's better at attacking, and this gives you the option of the best way to deal with it because a 4 threat location can really wreck a deck that's not very good at questing. That's very well done. Now they are all still getting +1 threat, so this is getting +2, so it's actually at 6. So add 2 threat to it so we don't forget. We can get rid of these now. So we are questing against 6 in the staging area. We are making 4 progress, which is just enough to clear the forest gate. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, do we want to travel to the spider den or do we want to go get a spider enemy? Hold on, before we do any of that, we still have Faramir, so I could add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 willpower. We definitely want to do that. So we're going to exhaust Boromir. He gives +1 willpower to everybody currently committed to the quest. Which, again, let me... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that is 6 progress. Just a casual +6 willpower. No big thing. Now we can either travel to this, because we are still in the... Yeah, we're still in the quest phase. I believe there is an action window between quest resolution and the end of the quest phase, so we can still take this quest action to discard this and go get a spider enemy. Let me just take a quick look. What spider enemies are still... I guess I can't. Let me look at the discard pile. Let me not cheat here. So if we went and got one, it would be these that exhaust when they engage you. Now I could... Theoretically, I could kill this thing if it didn't... The shadow card didn't exhaust one of my characters. Yeah, let's just do it. So we're going to use the quest action to search for a spider. I'm going to bring that... put it in play engaged with you to discard Spider Den. Discard that. Mablung gets a resource. Now this is one of those cases where he could have gotten an extra resource if there were still enemies in the staging area. We could have also gotten one in the encounter phase. And I think we're just ready to fight. Let me close. Oh, that's the discard pile. So we'll just keep the same order. Nothing else happens when we engage. So now we just need a shadow card and a blocker. Oh, we still have Angbor way down here. He's at the end of the line. I didn't see him. And he's attacking for 3. Oh, we're in very good shape. So he is going to exhaust to defend. He is defending for 3, but this guy's attacking for about 932. Since I have a lot of exhausted characters. So it's not looking good. Attacking enemy makes an additional attack immediately after this one. Deal a new shadow card for that attack. Ha! Ha! Okay. So, soldier's gone. And we'll try not to tell his family that his sacrifice was worthless because we're still getting attacked. Another shadow card. So now we have a... Oh, that does ready Emerhill. I have this card, but this guy's still attacking for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. Dang, these darn shadow cards. They just ruin all your plans. It's almost like it's there on purpose or something. Well, it's got to be Angbor, right? I was so excited about this guy. Can't believe I'm feeding him to a spider already. This game makes you do hard things. Oh yeah, now this one has no shadow effect. How about that? Angbor's gone. I don't know if there's another Angbor in this deck or not, but I sure hope so. Now we are attacking. These guys are actually getting +2 attack now because our threat is over 40 because of their Valiant swords. So we're attacking for 5, 10, which is enough to defeat the Spiders of Merckwood. In the end, I'm not sure it was worth it. I probably should have just traveled to the stupid whatever location, the Goblin Trail, or whichever one it was that let me get the spider. Mistakes were made. New round. What I drew, Visionary Leadership. Oh, here we go. This is another key card. 2 cost an attachment attached to a Gondor hero. While attached hero has at least 1 resource in its resource pool, Gondor characters get +1 willpower. So now Boromir can give +1 attack and +1 willpower. Speaking of that, or speaking of Boromir rather, he's still caught in a web, so he wouldn't have readied, so we're just going to do the whole Steward of Gondor, Heir of Mardial trick to ready him, continuing to ignore caught in a web. We definitely want Visionary Leadership on Boromir, so we're going to spend 2 resources. We're just going to keep on piling the cards on him. That is not Visionary Leadership. That is Visionary Leadership. So now everybody's getting +1 willpower. All right, Squire, you're no Angbor. But I need somebody out here to do some defending for me. And these only affect... Okay, so Visionary Leadership affects heroes and allies, but the Boromir's ability only affects allies, so I need to remember that. Questing for 1 million. We are also attacking for a whole bunch too. All right, so I think this won't win us the game, but let's go ahead and push through this. So quest. We're gonna save Faramir. Quest. Tempted to keep 2 blockers now that I know they can attack twice. We are questing for 12. We only need 6 progress, so that should be plenty. In fact, let's hold back even 1 more. We're just going to quest for 10. We only need 4 progress, so let's just do that. What do we get? Each player returns 1 enemy, no enemy, Surge and Doomed 1. All right, this is getting a little scary. We're at 43. We really need to get moving. Eyes in the Dark, Doomed 1. We're at 44. Oh my goodness. When revealed, each player must choose either raise your threat by 1 for each questing character you control or discard a questing character you control. Well, we could raise our threat by 1, 2, 3, 4 and be 1 turn away from losing. Or we could just say goodbye to an envoy, which is what's going to happen. Message delivered. Okay, get rid of these. So we did make 8 progress, which was enough to complete. That does ready Emerhill. Don't think anything else triggers from all that. I could trigger Faramir to add more willpower, but we don't need it. So make 8 progress. Let's see where that takes us. The rear guard. When revealed, the first player adds the set-aside goblin troop to the staging area. Totally forgot about that thing. Each other player switching... Okay, there's no other players. Oh. Uh-oh. Where'd that thing go? Ah, I see. Okay. So we click on the set-aside area. That brings him out. Does it go to the... Sorry, let me read this again. To the staging area. Okay. So we'll drag this over here. And let's see what's on the other side. Is this the last quest card? It looks like it. So we have 6 progress to make. The goblins are aware of your pursuit and form a rear guard to confront you while the others retreat to their secret hideaway. You must defeat this troop before you can continue your chase. The stage cannot be defeated while Goblin Troop is in play. When this stage is defeated, the heroes discover the trail to the Goblin's secret lair and the players win the game. So all we have to do is defeat the Goblin Troop and make 6 progress. I say that like it's going to be easy. It's attacking for 5. It takes 9 to kill in 1 shot. I don't know if I saved. Looks like I might be able to pull this off. Let's just see. It's going to engage us either way. Bring him in. Shadow card. Now, it's attacking for 5. Got my best buddy here. You were born for this moment. I salute you. Squire of the Citadel is defending. If this attack is undefended, it is not. Squire is defeated. You can add a resource to somebody's pool. It's always Boromir. It's always Boromir. Now, do I have 9 attack? So, I need 9 attack. What am I looking at here? We got 5. Oh my goodness. We are stacked. Stacked. Could do more than enough. So let's just attack and attack. That's 10. He would be boosting other goblin enemies, but there aren't any. 10 attack is enough to overcome his 3 defense and 6 health. Goodbye. Now we just need to make 6 progress. I think we are nearing the end of this chase. Stand up. We are at 45 threat, so it's a darn good thing, too. He would have gotten a resource when we engaged that goblin troop. Now we're going to spend 2 to bring out somebody who is actually meant to defend. You know, the poor squire, he's meant to get horse feed and brush saddles and shine armor. But what he ends up doing is getting fed to spiders and standing in front of goblin troops. How's that fair? These guys, on the other hand, they were trained for this. They were born for this. They are ready for this. All right, so we just need to make 6 progress. We're just going to quest and quest and quest and quest and quest. We're sending 12 to an empty staging area. Folks, I think we might be nearing the end of the game, but before we do, let me just quickly say, if you enjoy this type of content, please consider subscribing to the channel. Please consider liking this video. It super helps me out. And let's see what happens. Tangled Grove. Okay, we have to stop having these incredibly anticlimactic endings. It's an X threat location where X is the number of locations in the staging area, so 1. So we're going to make 11 progress, which is more than enough to win. I guess we'll have to call last turn the exciting climax, and this is the 4-hour ending to Return of the King right here. We're just watching everybody say goodbye. So we made 11 progress. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And make that 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. We're going to call that a win, ladies and gentlemen. I think out of all the decks I've played so far, this is definitely the most straightforward. You just want to build up a lot of cheap allies, and then they get boosted by Visionary Leadership and Boromir's ability. It's effective. It's probably a little less fun to me than the in and out of play shenanigans of Rohan and Sylvan, but it certainly worked. And it is exciting to be at 45 threat and still win the game. That could have definitely gone against us. And this quest is definitely more interesting to play than Passes Through Merkwood. There's a little bit more going on, some twists and turns, exciting moments, drama. So I think when we go to the next quest, or the next video rather, we're going to be playing the dwarves, and we might as well check out the second quest here. Let's complete the story. Let's find out what happened to these poor villagers. Hopefully we can rescue them. I don't want to leave them hanging. I want to thank you very much for joining me. I really appreciate you taking the time to hang out with me. If you're still here, that's very, very kind of you. I hope you had fun. I had a lot of fun. I'm loving playing this game again. And I hope you'll join me next time we get up and game. Take care. Bye-bye.